AI is becoming a basic work skill, not a specialty. Now, I'm not talking about you writing the code to create your own AI system. I'm talking about using the AI systems that actually exist right now. ChatGPT. I always talk about ChatGPT because that's the one I use. AI is starting to matter in general business, every business, as much as using email, spreadsheets, your smartphone. You're not going to tell your boss, oh, I don't use smartphones. I still have my old dial-up phone. I don't use smartphones, or I don't know how to do a spreadsheet, or I don't know how to send email. I don't use email. Or no, I don't use texting. I just don't use that. If I want to talk to somebody, I'll just call them. You don't tell a supervisor or a manager that. That would be irrational. They would look at you like you were a nut. Artificial intelligence is becoming the same way. You need to sign in, get a basic free account, go through it, ask it simple stuff. How do you give a dog a bath? How do I wash my dishes? Find out how to use it. Learn it. Don't hide from it. I'll tell you a quick story. When I first moved out here to Los Angeles, and this was at the end of the 80s, I graduated college, I moved out here, and I got this job at a company called Color System Technology. And I had a little bit of experience with computers. I had my first computer and still learning it. I was actually still learning it at that time. And one of the requirements of the job when I got hired was that I know something called, which I didn't know what they were talking about at the time. They were using, instead of saying the whole word, they were using an abbreviation, DBase. If you don't know DBase, it's going to come in and everyone's going to have to use DBase. And the people that don't learn DBase are going to be let go and blah, 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 blah. The management was trying to be all hard ass about DBase. And then once I looked into it, once I realized what it was, database. Entering information into the database so that we at the company, the employees at the company could share their information. They were trying to make it seem so mysterious, so complicated. That's what a lot of people are doing right now with artificial intelligence. They're trying to scare you. They're trying to scare you away from it so that they can have a little advantage over you, I guess. I'm not sure why. It's a simple program that you can learn to ask questions to get answers, just like Google, except it's more sophisticated and it gives you more information quicker and faster. Don't fear it. It's something that's going to be needed for your job. Learn it. You don't have to be an expert to know how to write code or anything like that. It's simple knowledge that you need as an employee. You're looking for a job. You want to better your skills. You want to move up. And the secret is, too, which I tell a lot of people who are employed right now who don't understand the whole term of artificial intelligence, AI. They're afraid of it. They hear all the buzzwords. They hear that's going to come take your jobs away. It's going to put you on the breadline. It's going to increase homelessness. Nonsense. Nonsense. It's another tool that we as modern citizens in a first world country need to be aware of. You need to learn it. Just the basics. How do you use it? How do you write a prompt? What is a prompt? How do you get information from it? How specific can you be? How specific do you have to be? Learn the basics. Again, here on YouTube, there are hundreds of videos, hundreds of people just like me who are giving you information, more detailed information. I'm not going to get into the weeds of how to use it because there are already people doing it. I'm talking to the people out there. My audience are the people out there who are fearful, who are worried, who are listening to all the hype on the mainstream media about how you should be fearful, about how the job loss is going to impact you. Yes, there will be job loss, but you're going to find other jobs. You're not going to pitch a tent on the front lawn of the local city hall or start living in the alley because you got displaced by AI. You're going to find other work if you need to find other work. If you desire to find other work, you will find it. This is the United States of America. You don't have to pitch that tent. Learn artificial intelligence. Embrace it. Learn how to use it. Make yourself more productive. It's a necessity now. The real divide isn't artificial intelligence against humans. They like to pit us against something. It's not artificial intelligence against humans. It's adaptation versus resistance. Are you going to adapt and use this new tool, or are you going to sit on the side and resist? No, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use AI. I'm not going to participate in this system. I've been creating a lot of AI video and using a lot of it on my channel to create series, to create interesting, humorous content. And you still get those people, the trolls online saying, oh, this is AI slop. You shouldn't be using AI. Come on, be realistic. This is just another tool. Just like when I bought a new expensive camera. Oh no, you shouldn't be using 4K. You should still be shooting with standard definition. Oh, and at the beginning, no, don't forget it. A lot of you probably don't even remember. When digital cameras, photographic cameras came along, there were a lot of hardcore people, a lot of people that I respected who said digital's no good. Don't use digital, use film. Film is the only way to go. I kind of felt that way a little bit about the films I was producing at that time. I was shooting a lot with 16 millimeter and Super 8, and digital came along. And at the beginning, yes, digital wasn't as good as 16 millimeter. It wasn't even as good as Super 8. But I could see the change coming. I could see the quality of the digital image getting better and better with each new camera, where it was indistinguishable from motion picture film. And so I adapted to the new technology, as everyone else did. There's still a few hardcore enthusiasts out there that have the money and have the budget to shoot film. I wish I was with you. But I would still shoot film and digital. AI is another tool. Don't fear it. I'm really tired of hearing all these fear mongers. Yes, people are going to be put out of work. Jobs are going to disappear. But other jobs are going to come about. Other jobs will come about. You will be able to live. You won't have to commit suicide because of AI. You won't have to pitch a tent and live in the alley down the block behind the liquor store. That's unrealistic. You can make it. Have faith in yourself. Embrace the new technology. Embrace it. And if you can't embrace it, find some other job. There are jobs out there that people can get. Do you understand why people keep coming to this country? People come from all over the world to come to the United States because we have jobs. We have careers. We have future. They have the American dream. A lot of us Americans have lost it. We don't respect it because we've taken it for granted. AI is a tool. Get that in your head. Don't fear it. Learn it. Use it. Make yourself more productive. AI awards familiarity. Once you start using different AI systems, you'll start to notice, hey, this one looks like that one. Hey, this one does this. Hey, this one looks like that. They're all basically the same. That's one of the things I used to teach when I taught digital video editing at the very beginning. I used to tell students, I'm going to teach you with the most simple digital video editing program to start. Because the truth is, once you learn this basic one, all you need to do to go up to the advanced ones, which at that time was the Avid editor, is learn where the buttons are. Learn what the resources are available. Learn what other things it can do. You will know the basic concept. That's the same thing with artificial intelligence. Once you learn one, you'll be able to poke around on any new one that comes out because there will constantly be new ones coming out. That's the thing about artificial intelligence. It's going to constantly be improved. And you're going to constantly have to learn, not the whole system over again. You're going to have to learn, where did they put the buttons in this one? How do I do this? And then you have artificial intelligence to give you the answer. Right now, I'm using a lot of different artificial intelligence programs to generate video for content I'm creating here on my channel. And every time a new one comes out, I go and try it out. I'll use the free version for a little while, and then maybe if I like it, I'll jump onto the paid version, and I'll test that out to see how it compares to the one I'm currently using. And I'm looking around, okay, where's the button to do this? Where's the button to do that? They're all basically the same. Don't fear it. Don't fear it. You can figure it out. It's simple. It's easy. Take my word for it. Once you learn how to write prompts, and then you start thinking about it, oh, okay, I need to explain to this computer because this computer program is not really a human. It can't do everything that I can do. It can't do everything that my 5-year-old can do. It has access to vast knowledge that no human being has, all in one place. That's why what it does seems to be magic. But it's not. It just has access to everything that we as humans have created up to this point. So if it wants to know something about the 13th century, it has access to it. It doesn't have to go to the library like we used to have to do to find out that information. It has it. Boom. And it's not just one computer. Think of it as an army of computers answering your one question. That's why it comes back so fast. So again, I'm not going to be getting too much into the weeds. What I want to do is make artificial intelligence, bring it to a human level to where we all can understand it. I want to take that mystery away. Now, people like to keep that mystery because it puts them in a position where the haves and the have-not. But it's a system that everyone would use, just like when our smartphones came out. At first, they were very expensive. They were you couldn't get it if you didn't have the certain plans or whatever, to use it. Everyone didn't have it. So the elite had it. The people who were more on the cutting edge had them. But now everybody has them. They give the smartphones away for free. You'll see a little tent on the street where you can get a free smartphone. AI is a tool just like a smartphone is a tool. Don't fear it. Workflows in companies, in businesses. I talk a lot about acting, directing, and editing, but now I'm talking to everyone. Workflows are changing faster than job titles. So what that means is that you may be working for a company, and now they know that with artificial intelligence, you can look up something that maybe only your supervisor could look up before. You could put these reports together that maybe only the lead supervisor could do or was required to do. So now you may be given that task, but maybe not the job title, maybe not the pay rate, but you need to get in there with the artificial intelligence programs, type it in, type a prompt, find out what's needed, hand it off to the supervisor. Expectations are rising faster than the job titles. So don't let the term artificial intelligence or AI they throw around on every damn thing put you in a box where you're, I'm not too familiar with AI, so maybe I need to let Bill, he's the supervisor, maybe I better let him take over and find out what the boss needs. Jump in and find it out for yourself. The information is there, it's available. I always had a saying years ago with just Google, you don't have to not know anything. You don't have to not know anything. Whenever a question comes up, you may not even feel like looking it up. I mean, we've got to the point where now I talk to people and I say, oh, would you mind looking that up for me? I'm driving or something. And they don't even feel like looking it up. That's where we're going to get with AI. There's so much knowledge that you don't even feel like doing it at the moment. So don't fear artificial intelligence. It's just a way to access knowledge that is already there. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go to the library. You don't have to go to the research archives. You don't have to look on microfiche. I know a lot of you don't know what that is. The information is there. Use it. Learn how to use it. Make yourself valuable in the company you're working for, because that's what they're looking for. They expect it. They expect it. They don't want you to be the old guy sitting in the corner, I'm not going to, I don't have one of those newfangled, fancy smartphones. I know a lot of you people haven't heard people say that. But yes, at the beginning, I've heard people say that. I've heard people say, I don't use the internet. I don't use email. I don't have a social media account. Not that you need one. I don't have a social media presence. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little secret. I hire people. In my business, sometimes I need to hire people who are experts who can do things better than I can do in my production business. And if I come across somebody who doesn't have any kind of social media presence, delete. And I'm not the only one that does that. Young people do that right away. If you're an older person and you have no social media presence, forget getting hired. Forget it. I'm not saying you have to have a big giant website. I'm not saying you have to have some type of social media presence so that people can verify who you are. Don't sit back and say, I don't want to learn AI. I don't need to know AI. There's nothing to learn. It's basically typing in information, you're asking a question, and the AI can give you the answer because behind the scenes, it has access to everything we know as humans. The records are there. They're entered. The internet has been scraped. I mean, there's legal cases going on right now where major newspapers, book writers, authors, singers, I mean, I've created media, it's out there. My information is on the internet that was scraped off and put into artificial intelligence. You type my name into ChatGPT, I'll come up. I'm not going to sue Sam Altman and OpenAI because information I put freely myself on the internet is now part of the larger brain, artificial intelligence. That's ridiculous. The world is changing. This is the future. Don't think you can hide from it. Now, here's a big one. Entry-level, routine jobs are being reshaped. Let me say that again. Entry-level, routine jobs are being reshaped because a lot of the routine grunt work that legal assistants, maybe nursing assistants, maybe computer programming people first starting out, maybe editing assistants, writing assistants, all kind of entry-level jobs are being reshaped because that work can be done so fast with artificial intelligence. Now, you're still going to need people to do it. You're still going to need people to write the prompts, but you're not going to need as many people. You're not going to need an office full of assistants to do the work that one assistant can do with artificial intelligence. Now, I'm not saying, let me be honest with you. I have never been a person who was in favor of make work. I hated it. When I graduated, I'll tell you a quick story if I have time. When I graduated from high school, my very first job, this is going to sound unbelievable, I went to a company called Pinkerton, and I'm going to give you the fast story. I went there to become a security officer, and they offered me a position as a private investigator. They trained me, and my very first job, the first 2 years out of high school, I was a private investigator doing marital investigations. Now, the reason I'm telling you that is because artificial intelligence would have helped me greatly with that business when I first started out. I could have found out everything I needed to know whenever I needed to know it without calling back to the office and asking the supervisor, what do I do now? What do I do about this? What do I do about that? I was a trainee. I was in the field. I was representing the company. And if I had a question, I had to jump on the phone and call them. And I didn't have a cell phone. I'm not talking about a cell phone. Do anybody remember what payphones are? I had to put coins in the payphone or use my payphone card account and call in and ask questions if I had any questions. But artificial intelligence will reshape jobs faster. People will be trained faster. People will be able to do more faster because they will have access to the knowledge they need right away on their cell phone. You don't have to call the supervisor. You don't have to call the manager. You don't have to flip through the training manual because the information you need is right there. Don't fear it. Don't fear it. I know a lot of this is information because I still see people fearful. I still see all the doom and gloom videos. So you need a video like what I'm doing to tell you technology is nothing to fear. Yes, jobs will be changed, but you'll find another job. You're not going to pitch a tent. And if you do pitch a tent, AI is not the reason you're pitching that tent. There are other underlying reasons why you are kicked out of your apartment and you move on the street with other homeless people, with other hobos. There's a reason for that. And it's not AI. It's not AI. AI is not putting anyone on the street. Just like a electric drill, I used to have a manual drill. When my father taught me to be when I used to work with my father, he was a carpenter. And I remember he taught me how to use a manual drill that you put the bit in and you crank the handle and it drilled through the wood. Then he got a electric drill and he could drill multiple holes. And then he taught me how to use the hammer, a manual hammer, where I'd hammer in the nails and I would always bend the nails or hit my finger. Then he got a nail gun. And he could pop, 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 pop the nails into the wood. The nail gun, a new tool. The electric drill, a new tool. The electric circular saw, a new tool. AI, artificial intelligence, a new tool. And as an employer myself, I want you to know this as an employee. I always have a saying, everyone can't be the boss, because we wouldn't have a society that we have now. We need supervisors, we need bosses, we need managers. Fear and avoidance, a delay in learning, they waste time. Fear and avoidance of AI loses productivity. If you work in a company and they want you to use some aspect of artificial intelligence to make you more productive in your job, and you're resistant because you're not computer literate, you need to get computer literate. You need to sit down at home on your own time, or go to a library if you don't own a computer, and mess around with artificial intelligence till you are comfortable using it. You're not trying to be a programmer. You're not trying to write code. You're just typing in answers. You're typing in questions and reading the answer. Then you type in a more elaborate question and you get a more elaborate answer. Learn it. Don't fear it. Learn it now. Make yourself more productive. Make yourself more useful. The people that get left behind, they won't get a warning. They will not get a warning. They'll wake up one day, they'll go to work, and it's over. There's your box. Take your desk and pack it up, and the security will show you out. I'm being cold, I'm being hard, but I'm being realistic. Don't fight it. Learn how to use it to make yourself more productive, to make yourself a better employee, to make yourself one of the employees that they don't get rid of. They're going to get rid of all the people first who are resistant, who don't want to use it, who don't want to learn it, who don't want to change. It's so frustrating when I meet a lot of people who don't want to change. Oh, this is the way we've always done it. Just like I said before, over my life as an actor, director, and editor, I've worked all kinds of jobs when my business was slow. And when you go into a company and you work with workers who have been there a long time. I remember one time I took a job, for me it was temporary, but for the employer, they were hoping I'd be a long-time employee. It was at Pioneer Laserdisc. I don't know if any of you remember Laserdisc, but I remember the first day I walked in, the supervisor who hired me introduced me to the workers on the floor, and we all went to lunch. And the very first thing they started telling me was everything bad about the job. Why they didn't like it, why it was a pain, why this was that, all the negative stuff. And then one person did pipe up and say, why are we telling him all the bad stuff on his very first day? Why don't we tell him some of the good stuff? And as I went along working in a job, I worked there probably like 6 months, I was an encoder. And what that meant was I would program the video codes that would operate the Laserdisc when you put it in your Laserdisc player. So I learned that most of the time there was wasted. Most of the employees' time there was wasted. Everybody had an 8-hour shift. They maybe needed to be there 3 or 4 hours to do what they had to do. But the rest of the time was wasted time. That's what AI is changing. That's why a lot of these jobs that don't need grunt work jobs that humans don't need to be doing, and AI wants to do it because that is their sole purpose, to solve these problems or move this thing here or move this thing there or write this piece of code or figure out, check. Everything that we did at Pioneer Laserdisc could have been done by AI, by one person sitting behind a computer. Everything. That's why Laserdisc eventually disappeared. They fell out of format when CDs came out. But again, that was another area of change I was at. When I could see it was going down. But I could also see why it was going down. They had a whole staff of people, a whole building, Pioneer filled with building, a big giant company. And most of the people were being paid for 8 hours a day, but they were maybe doing 3 or 4 hours of work a day. That's what AI will eliminate. And bosses, me as a boss, and bosses on much higher level than me, we can see that. We can see the wasted time. We can see the opportunity to have things done faster, quicker, and better. And again, back to my original, it's a tool. It's a new tool. Don't fear it. Learn how to use it or pivot yourself into another position of employment. You don't have to pitch the tent. You don't have to pitch the tent. So don't be fearful. Don't be fearful. The world is going to go on as it always has. When new technology comes along, when new ideas come along, when new inventions come along, don't hold up your protest sign saying we don't want artificial intelligence. It's taking our jobs away. Of course it's going to take some jobs away. But you will find other jobs. If you are a productive human being living in this country, you will find another job. It doesn't have to be computer related. Yeah, of course, you can walk away and say, I don't want to have anything to do with artificial intelligence. And there are plenty of jobs out there where we still need human beings to do those jobs. I had some work done in my yard recently where a tree had crushed a sewer pipe. And I'm too old to get down there and dig the hole out anymore. So I hired some people to come who were plumbers and who were gardeners who could remove trees, who were gardening experts, and they physically got that tree down, they cut it down, they took the tree out. Then they were done with their part of the job. I paid them what I owed them. Then there were people who needed to come in and do the plumbing. Artificial intelligence can't do that. A computer can't do that. I know you see the robots, but those robots can barely walk. There are some good ones out there. I was watching some videos last night. But even the executives who run some of the highest tech companies in robotics right now, they admit the hype is just out of control. The hype is just out of control. We're at least 10 years away from a robot in your house that can do anything like a human can do. We're way, way far away from that, unless there's some kind of intervention from extraterrestrials. But we're way, way, way far away from robots just coming into our house and you being able to say, Roby, go walk the dog, then cook my breakfast, then clean up the backyard, then rake the front yard, then wash my clothes and put them away in all the drawers. We're way far away from that. Now, I'm not saying that's not going to happen. Yes. And again, if I was alive, I'd be right here on the YouTube saying, these are tools. Accept them, embrace them, use them to your advantage. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.